Morning, folks. It's 3:33 a.m. 12:15. Is it Tuesday or something? Yeah, Tuesday. Wow, 3:33. Three threes. Three is a number. Excuse me. That is often associated with happiness. Um, Usually, it's about people being together, about something good, like meeting people. A lot of people have threes in their name. Have jobs where they meet a lot of people. Like Sylvia Brown, she had sevens and threes. Seven is spiritual knowledge, and three is meeting people. That kind of thing. Uh, People who are quote unquote professional talkers, stuff like that. Doesn't always have to be like that, but it's similar. It's related to it. As we start this video, and I try to wake up, um, it's actually hot in here. Um, my body's putting out a lot of energy too, heat. A lot of it, inside, not coming out, going everywhere, but inside. Um, it's a lot of yellow, gold, excuse me, in the field. It's coming out of my eyes. So when I go to look at the field, it's just in me. That's all. Anyway, I try to explain everything, not to sound like a nut or um, arrogant, or there's no big campaign, except I'm trying to just be open about everything. I used to have people say, I've brought up examples not that long ago about when I was a mechanic and working on a woman's car, and she got all upset, and I just, tell her what she was upset about, not to worry about it, and why it was going to change for her. That was something in her personal life I had no idea knowing about. Usually, I didn't even know the people at all. And a few of them would say, "You talk to everyone like that?" And I'm like, "Yeah." It's like, why shouldn't I? It's just a mechanic, not greasy, but a mechanic. You do get some grease on you, but it washes right off before you leave. Um, People used to be surprised. You have an idea what my house looks like now and what it's like with degenerative joint disease and other stuff. I can't move around much in my lungs. It's all gone to hell quick, especially after I closed down my shop. Excuse me, but uh, people would be surprised. My friends, mechanics, when they came over and they actually saw a clean house and clean carpet. I always had to have one of those carpet shampooers, for all the dogs I had living with me all the time. Um, I'd find them, save them, uh, fix them, go to the vet, um, handle their problems until they pass. Um, Thinking back on that, it's a really sad thing. It's wonderful to have that love, but it's just, why the suffering? You all know about that. Any of you follow any of my stuff talking about creation's abuse? Um, if you go back in my YouTube videos, it goes back a few years for the most part. Whoops, a couple years. Um, just search for creation's abuse. It's not a long video. All my videos were very short. Um, Kind of quick and to the point, spotty, and then people wanted me to talk more about stuff, but there's a lot to talk about. But now that I've brought most of that stuff out in the open, and things, of course, keep changing, um, then the videos have become long now. Change is one thing you can't stop. Excuse me. The one thing that is consistent and unstoppable, well, there's maybe more than one thing, but what I'm saying is one thing that's always been consistent and unstoppable, and that's change. That was happening before there was ever anything. And don't ask me what it's like before there's ever anything, because, folks, I don't know. Um, it's nice to know things, but is that relative? Is that too relative to you living your life right now? No. When you get fixated on something like that, you really waste a lot of time learning other stuff that's really more important to you, to your daily life, more important to you having a better life, and more important to finding out who you are when you're not in a body having a life. Excuse me, because that's the truth. That's who you are. It's like you've heard me say a lot of times. It's like 5 days a week. You're literally a spirit. You are your true self. Boy, it's early. Um, you're your true self when you're not in a body. Your spirit, sentient energy. Okay. So think of it like 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. You're your true self living in your house, floating around, and then Saturday morning you put on a jumpsuit called a body. You go out and have it Saturday and Sunday. You have a life in a physical body, and then Monday you come back. You take off a jumpsuit and float around the house as energy. You're going to be able to do something soon like that later in these new energy bodies. The topic of today, for those who are interested, among other things, you know how I float around when I talk. I'm doing the best I can, folks, to give you all the information I can. Not to tell you how you have to think or tell you what you have to do. Unless someone's abusing someone else or an animal, I don't tell you what you have to do. I don't do that. I've made suggestions to people, you know, especially when it comes to abuse. But that's not what I'm here for. It's so sad sometimes when I look around and see what's happening. It's just unreal. Especially when you know there's something you can do about something and you're tied down, you can't. That's frustrating. Maybe a parent wanting to do something for their children. Sometimes it's to get them to a better school, help them with braces they can't afford. Folks, while you're worrying about that, don't forget there's people who aren't eating. And think about what their parents feel like. Now, there's more that goes into that. I'm not even going to go there, but I'm just saying. Anyway, Armageddon. What the heck's Armageddon? The end all where there's the end all where there's nothing. This rapture thing. What, people go poof, 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 poof. And what happens? Their bodies are walking around in heaven with God. La! I don't know. What is it? Anybody out there know? Well, it's a thought process that was put into your religious texts, not all of them, some of them, about when God saves the good and kills the wicked, or something like that. I don't know. I've seen license plates that said, warning, this vehicle will be unmanned in the rapture. And so the joke, but the devil joke behind that is that there's really going to be a car going down the road and all of a sudden, poof, the people are saved and they're with God. La! I love that. It's just such a, you know, I talk about things that are hard for many people to understand because they can't see it or understand it, but there's more and more powerful seers coming out now. And as solar plexus people have stronger gut feeling, and there's also people with strong heart feeling. One of the problems is, those of you that are really strong with your abilities, you've been beat up all your life to make sure that you couldn't use them. Because you couldn't be allowed to see what's there and tell other people. Not completely. So, Why do you think there's a metaphysical barrier put down the middle of your head to keep the two parts of your body talking to each other? The last thing the original first being male and female, while they were still alive, wanted was for the two parts of you inside to meet each other, because then right away you'd say, oh wow, there's two of us in here. There's actually someone in here with me. The more truth you had, the more their little creation of abuse, and them being the wonderful, beautiful, supreme gods, male and female, more of that falling away. You know, that was in danger then. Crazy. Okay, well, excuse me. Never pick your teeth on camera. Yeah, whatever. I want to talk about, from here, we have to go to something else now. Part of the same thing. A lot of scientists haven't been helped from our friends in space, our family in space. Remember, you've had lives in those bodies too. Many of them are very, very, very humanoid, okay? Some are insect, reptilian. Very interesting designs, and oh, they're not like us, they're evil. God, God, save us. You know, what? It's like looking at a different kind of pizza. You see it and you freak out because it looks different. Where you go from pizza to a sandwich, the first time someone ever sees it, it's like, oh no. It's all the same thing, folks. Different shells for the spirit to go in. Once you see spirit, you can actually see truth. You can already feel it in your heart. You do, as a matter of fact. But you don't want to trust it. You've been taught not to trust it. Hearing voices in your head. There's some people that need medication because they're having some issues, but mostly it's people being messed with, spirit. But if you tell people, but I mean, mostly it's spirit guides, I'm sorry, talking to you, but most of the people that have been in institutions, most of the problems they have is spirit driving them nuts. I had to rephrase the way I said that. Lots of times I'll say something like that and not catch it. I've been talking about my head change, and it has been. The more of me that goes into what I am is a major focal point of error. I've said that many times, a lot more than I ever wanted to. It's going into a big section of the big body of error, and it's putting energy inside me. I find my own personality sometimes changing, and I have to grab a hold of that energy and change it. And I do the same for, someone else who's here, Lily's driver. Those of you that actually know me, not what you want out of me, but know me, you understand that's what I'm like. Excuse me. As people started waking up, there came a bit of a rift between what they thought was right and what they wanted to do, and those that understood me and what really needed to happen. A lot of people just broke away, and now something else is coming together. I've talked about Paul a lot, Paul Charrick. He's such a strong seer. He's an ex-vet. He's had our friends coming to him for a long time. He's like me. He's a real strong seer. He's had so much stuff going on. And part of the reason for this video is that energy, that part of the focal point of the primary focal point of error, its driver, is what I am inside. However, this other large piece of the body of error has attached itself to me, and its energy is going in and mine's coming out. Good boy, Herc. He's going to sit out there. Just put new sheets on this little bed. He's got dog beds all over the place. But anyway, he came, we were talking last night, and my schedule's kind of crazy because I usually get up early. Almost all the time I'm up early. And I started doing it automatically before I even met Karen in body. And she lives in the Netherlands. And she's got Lily inside, and is Lily inside, not as a piece of her, but is Lily. Her primary focal point now. And and that was setting up to go ahead and, be talking with her and conversing while, excuse me, while I'm still here. And then Paul, he works late at night, so sometimes we talk late. Folks, I'm 60, okay? I'm not 17 anymore. I slow down a little bit, but it's not that big a thing. I just don't get much sleep, but I do have a lot of energy. But it's different with this energy coming in and out. Now this big body of Ara on the other side, this big piece of Ara's body, that's got a focal point in it. Didn't have one before. It was sentient energy, but it did not have a decisive, intelligent focal point in it. Lily, the same thing's been going on with her, and now she has a strong part of a decisive focal point within her. So that puts some more intelligence into some big energy on the other side. Also, when part of the driver is already in the body, it starts becoming active. People say I'm aggressive. You're right. You're right. I make jokes you've heard in some of the videos. I say, Joey, give me that bat. Let's go get this done. Joey's something I made up just to try to be goofy, put a little levity into some of the stuff I say. I talk about some pretty tough stuff. Okay? I'm not here to mince words. I'm not here to be fluffy puffy. And when something's wrong, I speak out against it. Okay? I've gotten in trouble for that before in court. I'm not afraid. I don't back down. I don't go backwards. I've always enjoyed saying my transmission's broke. There's no R for reverse. The only thing I understand R to be is radio for runes, and that means traveling movement, physical movement. I get vocal about things sometimes, especially when people raise their voice. I immediately raise my voice. I've always been like that. And when things get that hot, there's a reason for it. And it has to do with protection, whether it's protecting myself or protecting animals I'm taking care of that are suffering due to someone else. So, but what's in Ara now is part of me, and it's free, and that's really helping it relax. Being out of these bodies, man, is just, y'all have no idea how wonderful that is unless you've actually died for a few seconds, or you've had a strong near-death experience, or you've been able to come out of your body, float around the other side, and been consciously aware of what it's like to be out of your body. There's no pain, there's no suffering, there's no age. You don't have to eat, go to the bathroom. You don't have to pay bills. You don't have to do anything. Mosquitoes, mosquitoes, fleas and ticks and stuff like that can't ever bother you, or animals. So many people, we're trying to wake up. We think so much about ourselves, and then once you do wake up, you usually enlighten yourself to the point of, hey, there's all kinds of stuff all over me that's alive. When you look at a tree and you can actually see it, the flow of energy within it, a kundalini, two spirits, that's when you're strong. If you can see that, you're strong. Anyway, Paul was at work, called me up last night, and he said, Jay, first he texted, and he said, Jay, I'm just getting attacked by all kinds of stuff. I had something with sesame seed in it last night. Anyway, so I looked at him, and I saw he was okay, and there's something about it's being taken care of. Don't worry about it. Um, so I didn't. I finished up with what I was doing on the computer. Oh yeah, the consults and everything coming up. Um, that's going to happen soon. I expect I'm going to probably be here till about Claus Day anyway. What people call Christmas. I call it Claus Day because it's not about the great Jesus Christ, who's gone now. Good thing. Um, your Bibles and books like that, they're so full of crud. Anyway, but that's what works for what needs to happen as far as whatever. So we'll see what happens then. Um, no, Jay didn't say he's dying on Christmas or something. No, that's just what I'm saying is for my consults. I'm going to run them up to then or close to it. It's only a little bit, but whatever. This website, new website and everything I put together. Um, I'm giving that to Paul so he can just keep going. And he knows what to do with it. Okay? Paul, like I said, is super strong. When I first looked at him, I said, damn. That's incredible. Look at this guy. And at the time it happened, I was at Michelle's house in North Carolina. And she said, she just talked about said this guy Paul called, and I just immediately looked at him and just lit up. I said, wow. And she was actually scared. She looked scared, and she goes, who is that guy? She could feel his power. And I said, I looked at him and knew who he was. So I said, well, what do you get? I've always done that, trying to help people wake up. And she said, well, I just look at him. The only word I get is son. So the reason why she got that, and that came, she's got intuition, comes through her gut. So it came, it's using her gut. So it came in through a crown. The 3 crowns went into the hypothalamus, and she gained understanding through the Akashic records. It's just part of the outer aura of what I am. Anyway, no big deal. People make such a big thing about this Akashic record thing. Oh, for Pete's sake, folks, it's the field. It's information that's in the field. It's there for you. It's part of the field's job. Anyway, I don't mean to be... I don't want to sound belittling or anything. It's just when you really understand things, you can realize how much people waste time making too big a thing of little things. Like what something is, as far as the first thing they start doing is better than. Folks, nothing is any better than nothing else. We're family. Okay? This better than concept literally came from the original first being male and female. I am worth more. I am better. No one's worth more. No one's better. You can better yourself, but no one's better than anyone else. Anyway, back to Paul. So Paul said he was being attacked, that he was being attacked by all kinds of stuff. He said, man, this is crazy. And like I said, I looked at him and I saw him being clouded, and then I just saw, I was comfortable with it. I was comforted that it was fine. There was something going on there. It was part of me, and that whatever. It was like, this is done. Don't worry about it. So I kept going. And then I finished what I was doing, trying to learn the internet. And, like I said, the websites, everything's going to be up soon. Okay, I was hoping it'd be by yesterday, but I had to finish learning Google. And folks, this is hard what's going on with me right now, okay? When it's time for consults and stuff like that, it always turns off. Boom, I got everything right there. But in the meantime, having part of you come out and go into something bigger and part of it come in, and then you digesting it while it digests you, just bonding together, so to speak. It's not eating or killing, it's bonding with, it's becoming part of. That gets a little funny, okay? It's very different. Anyway, but that's also going to make it easier for me to leave. So anyway, he called, it was worked out to, so that as soon as I got done what I needed to do, and I knew I needed to hurry up and finish. I wasn't being told. I just knew I needed to hurry and finish. So I did, put it down, and Paul called, and from work, and what he said was, Jay, I was just being attacked, real hard. And I said, yeah, I saw that. I said, it's okay, and he goes, well, I said, yeah, but it's the weirdest thing in the world. I got this hard rush in my head. And he said, it's like when that piece of you had broken off and it went to the M66, and then the New Angels attacked it, and some of the New Angels attacked it, which, by the way, I have to fix something about something I said. But first, and we'll go there in just 1 second. So, and he said, that's what your energy, that's what it looked like as far as energy, but that's what he must have felt like, that part of you, when it got hit like that. And that part of me is inside me, and it's fine. But these New Angels are very, very powerful, but most all of them are gone now for what happened. All the problem issue New Angels were dealt with. Okay, there were some that made a poor decision. A lot of them. Okay, most of them. And I literally went back to when they came out of Lily and Ara and stopped the wave. But as I was doing that, the other part of Ara was literally manipulating that so that what got taken out was the problem children, not the whole wave. When I go into people and crank you up, I've told you for years, I have a failsafe. It's me outside of the body. It keeps me from ever screwing up and hurting anything. I know when it happens, usually. But this, no, I couldn't see that. Doing stuff in and out of time, folks, that's hard. That's hard as hell. And it's hard to see and follow while you're stuck in a body. And don't bother trying to do it. You won't have to worry about that. But anyway, yesterday, I'm breaking away, but there's a reason for this. Yesterday, I had to go somewhere to do something. I went out and did it. And then on the way back, I was leading myself to go by the J. Bird Alley Starbucks. It was one of the New Angels, the ones that came from Lily and Ara. Excuse me. Back when the third wave of souls was 80% released. I call him Big Ben. Now, I used to see him at a different Starbucks. I don't go to all the Starbucks. It's just when I'm out and I want coffee, I usually go there. And he was always like working on drawing bodies. And then he would actually take classes. And then he'd make a body, go to class, get in his car, drive home, boom, boom, out of the body, in the body, out of the body. Angels are real. Do they have lives? No. But these New Angels are so strong. Remember, they're source, but they're mostly angel. Definitely different. I say that they're over 1,000. That they're 1,000 times stronger than the original angels were. They are. They're more than that. But if I say 1,000, I'll be accurate as far as a minimum. So anyway, and he actually usually would just wave and say hi and just how's it going, back and forth in the head, and then just leave. This time he stopped me with what I've been going through, which is a lot. And all these little souls running around everywhere, doing everything they can to mess everyone up, and they're succeeding in many ways. It doesn't matter because they're all dead soon. Not all the souls. I'm talking about these idiots. Okay, the sick ones, the abusive, aggressive ones. They're going to be dead very soon. But he actually came up to me and started the conversation and was, excited, happy, pushy. He's happy because things are coming along to the point where it's going to settle down real quick. He's happy because more of me is inside Arrow running around. He's happy because finally things are going to be the way he knows they should be. He was showing me in one of his art books about where he was doing work with some more work drawing physical bodies. The first time I met him, he just showed me that. I looked at his energy and I said, wow, this guy's different. And then I started seeing who he was, and I said, cool. And then he started showing me some pictures of some lives that, pictures that were involved in lives that I've had on Atlantis. And I was like, okay, he's going out of his way to make sure that, to give me every hint, to show me who he is or something without saying anything. And we went into more. But this time, he was making different bodies of here, drawing them. He's a heck of an artist. But it's a he, she, okay? Angels are both male and female energy. And they have different ratios, but that's what they are. And he's got, more male in him, not by a lot. And then he was talking about, he goes, when I got into the physics, and started, working with that, it helped me understand more about the bodies. Remember, angels don't have lives, but these guys get information. But anyway, they really want to learn because they care, and they come from hearts. They come from source energy, but from heart source energy. Lily and Ara, they're heart energy, very strong. They have all the other fields. I'm a very strong seer, but I got a lot of heart. Anyway, and I looked at him. I said, "Good." He wasn't hurt, and nothing happened. Then I'm driving home from there, and I told him because he really wanted to talk, and he was so excited, his happiness and everything. It was wonderful, but I'm tired. Some of the things I do sometimes take a lot out of me. When I don't get much sleep, I'm working my head a lot, and when I get worked on, Lily was in my head a couple nights ago and hit me so hard. I mentioned when I was in the bank opening up new bank accounts, all of a sudden my head, I almost hit my head right on the desk. I mean, the pain, I just started wham, and the lady freaked out. She looked at me. This is a PNC, it's professional bank folks, okay? These people know me. Every time I walk in, they want me to give them new information and everything else. We have a blast. It's like a party. It's wonderful to go places and people meet you and talk with you. These are doctors, millionaires, everybody. Okay, people who pour coffee for a living, people who work at a bagging groceries, but no one's any better than anyone else. I love everyone. I treat them the same, but when push goes to shove, then that's what I'm going to do. But anyway. They also know that I was going to be leaving, and they look at me and said, "Jay, it looks like you're having a rough day." And I said, "Yeah," but still, I told her a bunch of stuff coming up. Her talking about her trip to Hawaii and everything else, and I don't have much of a memory anymore. It's hard for me to move back in and out of time. I got too much stuff going on in my little head here. Okay, my little fat head. So I told her something I'd already told her before, I think. I told her she was going on a trip a long time ago, and then I told her, I said, something's coming up soon. You're in you go and it's like tropical waters and everything. I couldn't see it was Hawaii. She goes, yeah, well, it's not this year. It's not till January. And I'm like, next month, okay. Anyway, people are waking up everywhere. They're finding out what's going on, slowly but surely. But anyway, so I on the way back to the house, I was seeing more about what was going on with the other angels, and about when I went back in time and I went and grabbed that wave, I was kind of overrun. I was helped to make it do it. How do you do all this stuff through the body? It's because there's more of me outside of the body. Okay. It's not about me, what I am, what's in this body. It's not about what's out of the body. It's about everyone, everything. I'm doing my job. Anyway, enough of that. So, Paul called me up and he said, "Yeah, Jay, he said it was kind of weird. I got this hard pulse. I was being attacked everywhere. I got this hard pulse in my head, and then the next thing I know is that it calmed down And I saw your energy standing there, and you literally just blew the stuff away. Just wham, killed it. And then all of a sudden he said, "I'm looking at you, right at you." He said, "It's funny as hell." Um, and then the rest of the stuff that was coming at me, I just took care of myself. But I've never been hit that hard by so many. And then he started talking about something I've never talked with him about. I hadn't talked about this for. I've never talked about it on camera. I haven't talked about it. The last time I brought it up in someone's house, and she kind of crap all over herself. Um, there's something I've known about for a long time. Excuse me, for a long time. Okay, switching from no more coffee to water. And um, I've always talked about creation's abuse. Why there's so much abuse and why it was made that way. Well, why, if everything's wrong, why not stop creation now? Bring it to a stop. The way creation runs uh, on the in the third dimension. Why not just stop it? Take everyone out of their bodies. Okay, take everyone out of the bodies. Take care of the trouble issues, and then start over again. Now, as soon as I said that, she went nuts. What about my daughter? What about the? She's going crazy. I'm like, wow. I said, you don't understand. Um, I've also talked. We're going back there. Just give me a second. I've also talked to people about how the universe gets made. I was gonna touch on this earlier, with scientists saying the Big Bang Theory. I've said it takes less than 3 seconds to make a universe. It takes less than 5 seconds when you're powerful source energy to create and collapse a universe. Um, that means to take the heavy matter, explode it to where you open it up and transmutate it at the same time. Through a body, forget it. There's no way. You can't do crap when you're in these muck holes. I appreciate my body having had the opportunity to have it to use it, but I'm just saying, if anybody wants to go there, you best. Well, if you want to, be real, forget it. Okay, that'll never happen. Um, there's no way to do anything you want to do. Telekinetics, to the rest of it. These bodies are like tar pits. That's your spirits inside. It's like, think of a nice glass sphere with energy in it, and it's inside a tar pit. Okay. Um, but outside, yes, that Big Bang Theory is correct, but it's similar to close to correct. However, it wasn't one piece. It was a whole bunch of every planet is a small piece of heavy particulate matter that was exploded and transmutated at the same time. I've told you that you have no idea who you are and the abilities you have. And that's not one of them. But you know what? That's kind of towards the scale. The things that you can do as energy, fly all over the place and do all kinds of neat stuff. So anyway, um, if you can create and collapse a universe in 5 seconds, collapsing one takes about 2 seconds. If everything was all of a sudden all the physical matter was collapsed, and the spirit was just left without a body, to do it everywhere takes 2 seconds. When that happens, how much pain could you think you could have? First off, there is no pain. Why is there pain during death? Because the original first being wanted you to suffer. They wanted the people around you to suffer. They wanted it to be as long and painful as possible because that was their last chance to abuse you while you were still in a body. Plus, take advantage of the fact that others that love you, you're hurting their heart energy. So that makes the spirit, flex more. It makes it, have to go through more. So when the spirit gets out of the body after it has its life, it goes poof instead of poof. Okay? People, when you can see all this stuff, if you listen to what I tell you, and just apply it to the basic conscious mind over time, it just makes sense. You don't have to see it, but you do need a little time to keep living and let it just pop around in your head. But the idea is for all of you that possibly can is to see it. Excuse me. When you don't have any of these little souls running around, these abusive, arrogant little souls on the other side messing with your head and stuff, it will be easier to see. That'll happen soon. So anyway, when I brought this up, she was freaking out. It's like, she's thinking so much physical world. It's like these bodies don't even belong to us. And there's no, she was so worried to think about suffering from someone else suffering or something. There is no suffering. The Sig antelope, when they died, that was, believe it or not, humane. When they went, their bacteria attacked them from the inside and they just fell down. They stopped. No pain, no suffering. It was just very calm, slow death. When you start to die from freezing, that's the way it is. It's very slow and calm. How do I know? Oh, I've been there. Okay? I got in a fight with my parents when I was a kid, kicked out of the house, and I walked over to my girlfriend's house, Stephanie. And I was a kid in high school. And I literally made it was literally a small blizzard for Connecticut, which means, for Georgia, which means about, it was like about this much snow. But it was cold all through the night, so I just moved the snow around, made a little something to go into. I had a decent coat on. I just laid down in the snow behind a backstop of a baseball field, away from the wind as much as I could. And then as soon as it was light, I went up the hill up to my girlfriend's house and knocked on the door, and her mother had answered the door, and she was kind of surprised it was so early, and I couldn't even talk. I couldn't make words. I was frozen. I went, ooh, like that. And she said, damn, get in here. So I took some warm water, washed it on my face, and then I could talk. But the reason why I bring that up is that was 73, 72. Anyway, the reason why I brought that up, when I was going, it was quiet. And it was just slowly going. Death should not be an issue. It should be an easy thing. These energy bodies, you're actually going to be able to float out of your body, your energy body, if you want. So anyway, when something like that happens, there is no death. There's no suffering. It's just everything's broken down. Poof. It's like you're walking and then all of a sudden, poof, everything's gone and you're floating. It's energy. But it's not just you or just your family member. It's everyone. All of a sudden, everyone's home. Armageddon, end of the world. There's fire. There's hell. You're going to suffer. Oh! No. If that ever did happen, and I'm not saying it's going to, because the way I look at it, that's the easiest way to deal with it, but I don't quite see that happening. Okay? And if I did, if that's what wound up happening, nobody would know. You just find yourself on the other side looking at everyone and it's like, oh, everyone's here. Got to clean the filter on that AC unit. Anyway, so Paul was saying that part of my energy over there, and he see, it's got so much of me in it. He actually sees me. It's funny. And he said that he was getting that feeling, and the same thing from Lily over there. Lily has enough of her driver in it now, where she's, it's like, we're already partly over there, okay? And the two of them just looking around, and they're seeing all these souls going everywhere, and then Black Panther. I'm like, what's going on over there? I was talking with him, and I was real dizzy from being worked on, and the energy flow in and out. So, and I have to clean that energy as it comes in and out too. Little discrepancies with it has to be cleaned. So I go ahead and that's why I said when I do get out of this body, about 4 months later, everything's going to be settled down, because that's all the time necessary for cleaning and getting, cleaning the garbage around outside, cleaning the self, straightening everything up. Um, but I was talking with Black Panther, and I said, "What's going on over there?" And he was like arguing, but like argument, but not. And he was saying discussion. He was trying to focus on what he was saying. Um, Folks, what I do is not easy. Um, it's talking with your spirit guides. You can get to the point where that's easy. Good, do it. I'm not here for that. I'm stronger, yeah, but you know what? That's there is. I have responsibility, and it's wacky sometimes. Um, it's very natural when you get used to it, but at first it just kind of really seems wacky. Um, so anyway, uh, so Paul was saying he's talking with that part of my body and saying, thanks for getting that crud off me, because Paul's energy went whoa. It's like it amped up. So I was there. I just went to him and took care of it. Um, when After that happened, then he started texting saying, Paul doesn't care about this stuff, otherwise I wouldn't do it. I don't talk about other people's texts and stuff, and this isn't vindictive. I don't record everyone's conversation to try to use it against them later. um, Blah, 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 blah. Um, uh, can't talk, just text. Your energy here is helping me kill this crap. I'm going to change some words around. He and I talk a little. When you've been in the military and like a mechanic, that kind of aggressive kind of work where it's tough, um, you're you cuss a little bit. You just it's your language is a little rough. He said, "Can't talk, just text. Your energy is here, help me kill this stuff." I'm I'm seeing him smile because you're coming out soon. It'll all be over. He goes, "Damn, I don't know why, but I'm just collapse everything and start over." And then I told him, well, as far as a mathematical formula goes, it makes sense because it's the best way to quickly accomplish a goal. The straightest point from one end to the other, but there's more to it than that. He goes, yeah. He said, it's like everything is too broken. It'd be better just to start over. And I said, well, yeah, it's not quite. There's more to it than that. And he goes, weird. I can see everything just gone. One big flash, everything's gone, it's out of body, and then everything's calm. And I told him, yep, I went there years ago and really felt like it might be the best thing to do back then, but then I had to understand a little more about what's going on, and it's still kind of a weird situation. He goes, yeah, I don't know. I've seen that, and it just felt good. Like, finally, all this stuff is over. Everything kind of feels like that. It's like waking up from a really bad dream. Uh, and then he said some other stuff. We're not going to go there. Now that's personal. It should never be said. So it won't be. So anyway, I had to take off my glasses so I could see. Is that backwards? So anyway, and then we talked on the phone. But see, then I explained a little better about that. Everything was made abusive by the original first being male and female. Some of it really took to it really quick and liked it. Um, Abusive, arrogant. So some of that stuff is hard to fix. There's some souls out there, like everything else, that's been deleted. Okay, all the big things, the big power people, the big six, they're all deleted. except for little teeny pieces of them, little raindrops from the cloud. Um, People, that's what's going on the other side. We're almost there. Um, I really expected I'd be leaving, and it was set up to be so, and then changes were made on the other side. And that was a good thing the way it happened, the way it did. Because now Lily's driver and myself and um, Ara are already becoming one slowly. Um, and that'll make it a whole lot easier to get me out of here, and later on Lily's driver too. But I got to get over there to finish mopping up. Janitor, aisle 9. Um, so, something else people don't think about. It's like, another thing this woman had brought up, what about the children and the children? I said, well, what about the children of the children of the children of the children? I said, oh my gosh, let's worry about all this stupid stuff, These bodies don't even belong to them. Their body, their spirit that'll put her in the body to have a life. What about the planet, the spirit of the planet? On this planet Gaia. She has to keep making these things. She's continually getting abused. What about her? What about all these animals that are being daily abused? We're eating them. I mean, it's just, everything's set up wrong. Everything's wrong. The animals are going. Very soon, there's going to be another event like that happening, and you won't hear about it for a little bit. And you relate back to the day, it'll be close, a few days from now. Maybe a week, something like that. It'll be in December. Exact day is going to be when it's best for everyone, especially them. When it's best for them, actually. Excuse me. But it's being correlated to what's going on with us. It's for understanding. Animals have always been here to help us understand. The great service of creation. So, if everyone was out of body all at once, there's no pain, there's no suffering, it's just poof. It's like all of a sudden you wake up out of your body. I'm out of the Matrix, and I'm myself again. But I'm in a nicer house than I had in the Matrix. Cool. And there's no house. Remember your energy. On the other side, oh, the people, they have wings. Oh, for Pete's sake, you can see it. You can see yourselves any way you want. Your spirit. It's like it's for you. It's like looking at electricity. Can you see it? No. If you get strong enough seeing, you can relax and multidimensionally see energy, electricity going through a wire. You really have to slow yourself down, calm down, relax, and open yourself up. When you make the intention to do it and you're calm and you work at it, you will eventually see it. And I'll tell you one thing right now, there's multiple colors in there. Okay? It's not just one color. It's multiple colors. It's actually beautiful. Now, on the other side, these guys that go ghost hunting, they'll put brand new good batteries in the camera. They do it on purpose, and then they get out there at an event, and then some of these cameras, the batteries, the energy gets sucked out. What happens? The demons are taken. No, on the other side, in the second dimension, you see energy. You see it. So they go right to it, absorb what they can for the moment to create an event. Like show themselves, to move a ball or something, to try to touch you. That's what's going on. Seeing energy. To be a very strong pineal, folks, that's really good stuff. Not everyone is, but it's really good stuff. It really helps. Gut intuition is something that's also necessary. And heart energy. That's really important. Compassion and honor, equality. We're all like little drops of water. We're all different. Snowflakes. No one's any better than anyone else. And it's hard to wake up. I've always said waking up is hard to do. That's because it is. I wasn't trying to coin a phrase. Actually, there's a song about that. Um, not about that, but with that title. So anyway, if there ever was an Armageddon, that's what it'd be. There's no God, there's no rapture, there's none of that crap. That's a bunch of lies. People talk about the ancient texts like they knew more than we did. There is truth that's been hidden through time, but there's always problems with it. That's because until now, the real truth has never come out because the original first being didn't want it out. That's why I was getting attacked and hit so hard when I first started waking up, and the original male and female wanted me to talk like Sylvia Brown. Praise Mother Father God. No, I don't think so. That was kind of funny. I've told a lot of people this, but we have more and more people coming all the time. The subscribers keeps going up. Okay? The amount of people listening goes up. So sometimes I have to repeat something when it's relative. Okay? So for those of you that have known me, and I'm sorry if I do a little repeating, but please understand why, okay? But what did happen when I started waking up is that the female female part of the first being came to me and said, look, pretty soon now, we woke you up. We started waking you up more when you started watching Sylvia Brown. We sent you to her, and that's how you're going to talk about praise Mother, Father, God. And I was already looking at both of them. I'm like, yeah, I don't think so. Okay? I said, no, don't get me wrong. Now, y'all are important. I mean, if you think about it, everything came from you, so you're very important. But it's really about family. And then a female goes, no, it ain't. No, it ain't. No, it's about us. And then she said that in her head. She was saying herself, that it was about herself. And then the male part of the energy is his energy is here with was their physical body standing here with his arms crossed like this? No. But the feeling that you have when you do this is the feeling I was getting from the energy. How do you talk to spirit? How do you talk to something you can't see? How do you talk to something that doesn't have form? When you see it, your physical brain, the pineal really helps you with this, is to develop, especially when it's multidimensional. Your scanner, that's remote view. The pineal here is where you see the visions, what they call vision, but it's actually seeing multidimensionally, okay? Excuse me. And so anyway, I was seeing energy, I was seeing the frequencies of the energy move around, and then my brain says, okay, that's the closest thing to that for our conscious brain to understand is the image of someone doing this. The feeling that my heart got from the energy as it was making that change is the same feeling my heart gets, the feeling. Remember, the heart grabs the major data from the brain, the major emotions from the base chakra, pulls them together, creates a feeling. And then that feeling goes outward, comes in, that kind of thing. But then also the feeling from the heart goes up into the brain, back into the hypothalamus, comes back down again. And then it becomes understanding. And this is a continuous, ongoing cycle. That's how your energies work. People talk about the chakra, this chakra, that. That's good. Clean it. But don't people. I have to reverse the flow of the chakra. Bunk. If the only thing you actually can do is if there's a rock in a river, remove the rock blockage. Okay, clean it out. That's why that star Essenite is so strong. It cranks up your own personal energy so strong that the river sometimes blows the rocks right out of the river. It's like, you're in the way, dude, out. So anyway, that's a whole lot of information. When anyone says anything about the rapture or Armageddon, it's not true. Okay, it's not. And if it ever did happen, you would all be home. if anything like that was talking about any big event like that did happen, you'd all be home at one time. Poof! All of a sudden you're seeing it. You can think the physical mind would think of it as the only way you can understand it is to imagine a whole bunch of people standing around, let's say standing in a field, something like that. Um, what it is actually is a spirit, sentient energy. It's like clouds of it. Okay, again, we have to use cloud to explain the form because it's moving. A bunch of them over there, and you see each other's frequencies. You know who you are. You've had so many lives on so many planets and so many different bodies. Ants, reptiles, all kinds of stuff. Um, and to us, a lot of these bodies really look weird. But so what? Star Trek. Where do you think that thing came from? Hello. Um, I know it sounds like I'm demeaning when I say that. I'm not trying to. I'm trying to overemphasize a point. Think about it. Okay, it's not silly. We're told it's silly, but it's not. And a lot of people, they can't deal with change. So and that doesn't mean they're broken or wrong. It's just where they're at. Especially the older we get, the less time we know we have them. The last thing we want to do is mess with change because we're tired of change. When you really have a good heart, you feel things, see things. You might get upset about stuff for every once in a while, but you'll start to understand more. Um, Things are not like they seem. In many ways, they're much better as far as when you're out of a body, but as far as when you're in a body, folks, it's worse than you ever knew. And that's all being changed. So, that's this morning's talk on Armageddon. So tell me, Jay, what's going to happen? I don't know. It's going to be fixed the best possible way, the way that's best for everyone. But the animals are leaving. The stuff that's abusive in the other dimensions, very soon be completely destroyed. Every last little one. And then when another issue comes up, it'll be taken out. That's enough. If it can't change, if it won't change, it's going to be destroyed. So that's the way that goes. I've had a lot of people, they're actually aware of stuff I can do. And they have a lot of hope and stuff inside them. And they were saying, you have no right. They would just really get upset. Their energy was like this. You have no right to do that. And I said, that's funny. I said, I have people calling me up from all over the world that are being attacked. I kill what's attacking them, and then they're fine. These people that say you have no right to do that, I've always told them, without getting upset, I tell them, look, let me tell you something. I said, you're the kind of person that's going to come to me immediately as soon as you're attacked. And what am I going to tell you? I'm sorry. They might stop. They might get smart and learn and stop attacking you. Or if not, maybe they'll kill you. They can't kill you. Maybe they'll kill you and then stop with the next person. I don't have the right to interfere because they're learning. I have to have hope that things will be better. Really? There's so much going on. There's so much going on. There's so much my conscious brain has learned as time goes on. Uh, I just kept getting stronger and waking up. That's exactly what I want for everyone else. I don't see this, quote unquote, catastrophic event, catalytic. Too many years as a automotive technician. um, I don't see any kind of a catastrophe like that happening, but I do see people being ripped out of bodies, bodies dying, dropping. There's going to be something that happens. I can't tell you what it is yet. I'm not, This is a quote that people would say, don't ever say, because people can take it and use it against you. Man, if I haven't given these idiots enough crap to say about me yet, here, have some more. What I'm going to tell you is I, myself, just like you, we're not ourselves right now. Okay? We're not. We're 60, most everyone is their core energy. They're 60% their personal spirit, 40% the spirit of the planet, and then body material that belongs to the planet that we come from. So we're not ourselves. I'm not myself right now. I am what I am in this body. What can fit in it? And all of you, know it or not, are suffering when you're in a body. That's the idea, to make you suffer, so you grow more as energy and become bigger. And there were over 3,000 new universes made. Now there's like about 1.67, some 1.6, whatever, thousand. As a matter of fact, those of you that like to do research, and I appreciate that, I really do. I've always wanted to know. I went crazy when I was waking up trying to find information, and I buy a book and I just open it up. Get this paragraph, close it. Open up another paragraph, read half a page or something, close it, and that's it. That's all I need to get from the book. Was it good information? Maybe. Was it bad information? Maybe. The thing is, I had to be presented that information in that way so I can understand something. When I read it and saw it, then myself would say, okay, this, that, or the Black Panther would say, no, You know, but part of me already knew anyway, because it's part of me. It's inside. So that's why I try to get you all to talk to your animal spirit guides. They're easier to talk to than the humans. They're smarter. So there's less new universes. There were more created by the original male and female, and then Aramelius, while he was still a big, huge thing, he literally shrank, just recompressed the other universes. But what I was saying is Greg Braden has actually talked about that, about scientists actually having proven that there was these other big bangs, and that there's supposed to be, I don't know what word to use, maybe millions or something, new universes, or thousands, and more coming every day. It's about 1.6 thousand. So anyway, that's more information. Do whatever you want with it. My job is to put it out to you, not to tell you what you have to believe or have to do. I don't do that. Some people disagree. That's okay. I love you all. We all have problems. We're all being dealt a lot of issues by these stupid souls running around, especially those trying to wake up. But there's not that many of them left, and now they're starting to be taken out. They're a real nuisance. Lily and Ara on the other side. I've seen Ara looking at him, and then Lily looking at her feet. Lily can kill. She's the only thing other than Ara that can actually kill stuff. But she won't. She won't. It's against her. And it's not her job. She's a loving mother. No, she'll smack the crap out of something and knock it out of the way. And she'll put it near death, but to kill it, no. That job should only have to... What happens from being that should only happen to one thing. That kind of... There's a price you pay for something like that. That I understand very well. And that should only happen on one thing. Anyway. The two of them were looking at the two of them were just the image. The way to see this as image is that the two of them are the arrows like this looking around. It's like, and the energy is like this again. It's like, damn. Look at these idiots, and just kind of laughing at him like, man, y'all about to be dead. And then Lily's just looking at him going around. It's just like, what a mess. Because Lily's job is to look at, how do you fix this? How do I fix this? And our job is, I'm going to fix it. Lily's energy touches ours energy. Ours calm. But he's never, ever underestimate his fortitude. Never. He's going to do what's right. If Lily says no and he knows it's right, he's going to do it. People, what's outside there, that's you and me in bodies. I mean, out of bodies. It's in our real state. That's what's real. There's no universal energy. Lord, there's no God. There's no any of that stupid stuff. It's just us when we're not in bodies. And it's changing. It has changed so much. It's nothing like anything you left. I mean, forget it. It's wild. Some of these other people that see things, talk to people on the other side. A lot of them are just talking to spirit guides. Sometimes, they can talk to other people. They should ask them what's going on over there. The spirit is not going to get all freaked out, but they're going to say, hey, this is, some nutty stuff. And a lot of them don't want to talk. Teresa Caputo, the Long Island medium, she's really cool. She sees stuff over there, and I just saw her labeled as a fraud. I'm like, people said this, and I'm like, whatever. When you attach money to something like that, sometimes the people involved with the money, they can get stupid. They really can. It's just, money's not evil. It's the intention of spirit in a body, people that want to use it in a bad way. Evil, that's a 4-letter word. I don't like saying it. The other one, I'll say hatred, but the 4-letter form of it, I can't hardly say it. How can someone with compassion and love actually have hatred for something? Hating the actions of one person, I can't even quite go there, but I can get close. But I can't actually have hatred for something. I just don't understand it. I understand the anger, and I understand the need to produce an action. I understand anger really well. I get so frustrated sometimes. There's no hell like what I've gone through waking up, what I've done, what I've had to do, what's attacked me, and how many of them. So hard for over 7 years. It's like I've said, you go into Facebook 2010, 2011, you'll hear me cussing and everything else. I kind of wonder sometimes, why do they even let me put this on Facebook? And I was holding back. So, y'all want some dirt on me? You're welcome to it. Hell, I've cussed some people out real good. And some of it actually, one person actually recorded it and is running around, Jay said this and that. Good, I did. Not the way it came out. You don't know the story behind it, but it's whatever. You want to get upset like that, there's a reason for it. And it has to do with abuse towards those that I'm responsible for, like my animals here. Okay? That's what's important. Anyway, so that's the Armageddon thing. There is none. And if it ever did happen, everybody would, just literally be home. The universe is a big place. And to put out a wave of energy that does start in one place and just poof goes everywhere, 2 seconds is fast. So that means the actual time for you is like this. Boom. That's it. Now, just to the amount of time my fingers snap, think about the actual sound you're hearing, how long you hear the sound. That's quick. How much pain can you feel then? Number one, there is no pain. But if there was, how much pain could you feel? And then immediately you're out of the body where you can't feel pain anymore anyway. So it's like, Don't ever let that bother you. Okay? Again, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying, don't let it bother you. Okay? It's a waste of your energy. It's creating anxiety within you, and folks, all that does is stress out your spirit more. Please don't do that to yourself. Okay? There's no such thing as Armageddon. There's not. There's quote unquote hell on earth, so to speak. Being in a body is hell. What Christians call hell. Well, whatever. It's horrific. It's a lot of wonderful things too. You have to have those to stay here, to keep you from going crazy. Excuse me, please. So anyway, that's what's going on. I'm wearing a shirt. It's got a big red fire dragon on it. That's pretty funny. Um, Whatever, folks. Find your moments of love and compassion and honor, understanding. Hold on to them. Don't try to live there, but hold on to them. Kind of like putting them in the closet and knowing that you have nice, clean clothes to wear. Um, but find out more about who you are, because it's really important for you to know who you really are and what's going on, so you can understand some of the things that happen soon. Okay? Love y'all. Take care and have a good one. Plus, consults, crank ups. Um, if you're concerned, if at this point, with everything I openly tell you about me, what's going on with my energy, talk to Luke and Blair about, how my energy is right now. It's stronger, more powerful, and deeper than it's ever been. But it's still safe. It's actually safer now than it's ever been, because if I were to go to try to do something that I know is wrong on the other side, my energy over there would just stop me. And if I feel that, I know I need to stop. It's a safeguard I have, and a good one. Anyway, folks, it's all starting really soon. I'm learning how to use Google email. That's funny. I'm just, I can do some really neat things, and I can't do some of the simplest things. It should be embarrassing, but I really don't care. I really don't. It doesn't matter. We are what we are. We change. We do the best we can with what we have, and that's that. It's simple. I find so many things in life simple. Anyway, look, I love y'all. I gotta leave you alone. Take care and have a good morning or afternoon or night, whatever. Love you.